grew up in Jönköping in Sweden, a city between Malmö and Stockholm. There was a big brown furniture that you could make sounds of. So that was my first contact with the piano actually, and my parents let me use that and let me use the record player. So I started to play along with records and finding my way on the piano. Nowadays I'm fortunate enough to play on a Steinway D. I never thought I would play that instrument at home. My parents took me to a lot of different kinds of concerts actually, so I heard those great bands when I was a kid, and now I realize what kind of music I actually heard back then, what kind of legends I heard. And that combined to a lot of popular music that you heard on the radio and that you heard your friends play or whatever, made this kind into a very nice mix. The first contact with jazz was actually that I played together with a clarinet player, because it wasn't that many people around who played an instrument, and he happened to be into the Benny Goodman and Acker Bilk and those kind of things, even if he was in my age. So that was what I had to play actually, just to be able to play anything. And of course it was, you know, like a reaction against that after that, where I listened to a lot of heavy metal stuff and stuff like that. As a piano player, my strongest influence was when I heard Keith Jarrett the first time with a Nordic quartet. I was totally blown away, because I never heard anyone improvise in that way and with that sound and everything. And it was so connected to the whole Nordic sound, the whole Scandinavian idea of music in many ways. My musical background with a lot of rock and roll, a lot of pop, a lot of electronica, and how those different scenes are possible to influence each other, and how this is combined in many different ways. So I would say that it's not jazz in that sense anymore. It's instrumental music with improvisation in it. The timing was perfect now to go to an act. I've always admired the work that they do and how they present fantastic music on their label, and it feels really, really good to know that we are going on tour and you have the muscles behind you that you need from a record company. The cover song The Riddle by Nick Kershaw is once again a song from the 80s, and this is a song that I actually, grew up with. It feels somehow connected to almost some kind of Swedish folk music. A favorite band is Korn. We did a cover on a previous record we did with the trio, and but this time I wanted to meet them on their field with a different sound, a stronger, more aggressive sound. It's exactly the kind of thing that I've felt with this music, that it has so much energy in it, and an amazing way to reach out to a lot of people who wouldn't listen to jazz if they knew it was jazz. I write quite a lot of music, almost like a soundtrack for things that I experience in my life, and all of a sudden it starts to be a musical idea, and sometimes you get a musical idea and then you start to think about an experience you have, or a vision that you've had, or a memory you have, and all of a sudden it starts to develop itself. I love the format of the piano trio, but I got a little bit tired of the sound of an acoustic piano trio, and I wanted to expand that in many different ways. and I started doing that on the previous album. For this album, I wanted to take it even further, and that's the reason why it's called More.